How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's October now, the month of scary stuff. And to celebrate Scary Month, I thought, what's better to do than try and catch as many child predators as possible this month. I have a couple of catches myself planned in the beginning week of October. In fact, when this video probably goes live, I will be attending 4 hours away from my house, a predator catch. After that, I'm pretty free this month, and I'm going to try and make as many videos as possible for you guys so you have a lot of content to enjoy. As ever, if you want to recommend me any videos to react to, anything that you've seen online that you don't agree with or you think is really good, send me a message on my Instagram. My Instagram is linked down below and on the screen now. The last thing I want to say before I get going with this YouTube video is if you guys want to help out this channel in any way, please consider donating to our Patreon page. The Patreon is completely non-profit. It only pays for lawyers, editors, members of staff and stuff like that, so I can get these catches myself done properly. A lot of these YouTubers out there that make these predator catch videos, as you would have seen from my reactions over the last few months, don't do this for convictions, they do this for YouTube views, and I try and do it differently. I'm trying to make an active difference in the community, and I have actually, had multiple child predators arrested and not just posted on YouTube. So if you do want to help that happen, and you do want to, sort of help make England and what have you a little bit safer, please consider donating to that. It's completely non-profit, as I said. Anything we don't need gets saved until the next month. If we don't use it then, it gets given to charity. Without any further ado, let's get into the video.
How you doing today? Oh man. What brings you to 7-Eleven today?
So the video starts off and this guy's sort of looking into the camera with a smile on his face, and then all of a sudden realization hits him when another phone is pulled up and aimed at him that he is being filmed, even though it's being filmed on another phone quite clearly, otherwise we wouldn't have the footage of that. Him having this realization that he is being confronted by a group of men, and him deciding to, oh my god, and walk away, sort of reinforces the point that he knows what he's there for and he's not an innocent bystander in this.
What brings you to 7-Eleven today, Edward? What brings you here today, Edward?
You're better off talking to us than running, Edward.
Edward.
You don't want us to send this to the police.
So this always really troubles me when it comes to any of these sting operations that I see on YouTube, is the first thing they say is, if you don't want us to send this to the police, speak to us. This is a bad thing on so many levels. One, it shows that you're not intending to go to the police and that content is your primary objective in this, and it's not to get this man legally and properly put behind bars. It's purely for YouTube content. Number two, it's sort of coercion, saying, hey, if you don't speak to me right now for a prolonged period of time of, let's say 5-10 minutes, I'll hand all of this evidence into the police. He's obviously going to stay because he doesn't want to be arrested, as would most people if, if they're not completely cracked out of their head. But then anything that he says from this point onwards could be seen as coerced. If he then goes to court at a later date, let's say this does get pushed through and they do go to the police, any of the evidence that they conduct from this point onwards could be thrown out. That's worrying. It's worrying that you're willing to throw out a case purely for extra clicks and extra ego boosting on YouTube.
I want to have a conversation with you.
That's it.
Listen, we're not here to hurt you. We're just here to have a simple conversation, okay?
And we're recording for our safety.
I didn't know you guys.
So they're obviously recording for, both of their safety, themselves, and the potential child predator in this video. But it's not as simple as that. Especially given what you said before, that if they don't speak to you on this camera, not off camera, but if they don't speak to you on this camera, you'll go to the police. This isn't just recording for both of your safety, this is recording purely for the intent of making money off these people. And there's a little bit of a moral dilemma there. Obviously, I make videos on people that I've caught, but I make sure that everybody that I've spoken to goes through the police first. Like, I had a predator catch in Peterborough a couple of months ago. It's still not on my YouTube channel because I'm waiting for the right things to be put in place. I don't want to ruin that case. I want to make sure that everybody I speak to and everybody I hand to the police has a good chance of actually being prosecuted.
Alright, what are you doing here at 7-Eleven? And then don't lie to me, because I'm not fucking stupid, Edward. I was just
hang out
talking.
with you for a minute to meet you, and that's it.
No,
Fine.
it wasn't me you were coming to hang out with. Who were you coming to hang out with?
I don't know who he is. It's not you.
How old
Who
is
were
he?
you coming to hang? What was his
Give me
name?
his real age and give me a name.
What was his name?
You give me a name.
You know his name. What did he look like?
Some blonde dude. I don't know the rest
He
of
was.
So obviously he's lying. It's not hard to work that out, is it? He's quite clearly under a lot of stress. He was obviously attempting to meet a minor in this, and when a minor didn't turn up, obviously he's going to be acting slightly bizarre. He's going to be stressed out, he's going to be worried, he's going to be nervous, all of this stuff that is pretty normal in human psychology when somebody's caught committing a crime. But saying that you don't know the name, the age, or what the person looked like is complete fallacy. It's complete fallacy. Put yourself in this, don't put yourself in this man's shoes, actually. Please don't do that. But if you can sort of imagine you meeting somebody, would you meet that person if you didn't know their name, if you didn't know their age, if you didn't know what they looked like? How would you know that you're meeting the right person? Let's say that person walks in the store, but you don't know their name, their age, or what they look like. How are you going to notice that person? It is complete horseshit.
He wasn't blonde,
I
Edward.
don't
He
know
was
who he is.
ginger.
I don't know.
You can't lie to
Pay
me.
attention to that.
Were you or were you not, Edward? Then don't lie to me. Were you or were you not coming here to meet with a 14-year-old?
Didn't know until the last minute. That's why.
Were you or
But even if you didn't know until the last minute that this child was 14, you still knew at the point of arriving that the child was 14. And depending on what state this is, in America, this can be seen as potential kidnapping, because obviously somebody under the legal age being picked up by an adult against their will, because they can't give full consent yet because of their age, is actually seen as kidnapping, and it's a secondary offence on most of these American catches. So at the point that you knew, even if it was at the last minute, that they were 14, at that point you should have tried to end all communications. Obviously anything that they said before they mentioned them being 14 is completely inadmissible in court. It means absolute fucking nothing. If you generally believe you're speaking to an 18-year-old, at the last moment they say, hey, I'm 14 by the way, everything before that doesn't mean shit. But on top of that, if this man genuinely believed he was speaking to somebody of age, if there was conversations for, let's say, 3 or 4 days of him believing this person being 18, and then at the last minute them saying 14, and he still turns up to this meet, it might be admissible still, because it could be seen as entrapment. Can I see them arse cheeks? No, you're not, but I'm not actually 20. I just love older men. I'm 14, gonna be 15 in a week. Oh damn, is that cool? Sure, as long as we don't get in trouble. Anyone asks, I'm 16. Okay, lol. So it looks like there was a considerable amount of conversation before this point for it to be sexually charged, because not even the dumbest of dumb people start a conversation with, hey, can I see them arse cheeks? And if he did, fair fucking play. That's the weirdest shit I've ever seen. But this is why it's important to try and put in the entire conversation in these videos beforehand, or even in a PDF document in the link in the description. That hasn't been done, and from me looking at this looks like it was midway through a conversation, which means this could be seen as entrapment.
were you not?
At first, yes. No, I don't.
Were you?
No.
Were you? It's a yes or no question. Were you aware he was 14?
I did not know he was 14 until
You
last
didn't
I
know
got
he
up
was
here.
14.
So I got up, he said, you don't know how old I am.
Edward, I told you when I first started talking to you that.
So I don't know why they put those up on the left-hand side. It's completely out of context. There's nothing even being replied to it. I don't know when that was sent. I don't know why it was sent. I don't know anything around that. Obviously him saying, don't need you to get me for rape, means that he probably knew at this point that it would be statutory and he was underage. But the main thing that they put on the screen here is, I don't want nobody seeing us, I would get in trouble. This is an admission of, intellectual guilt, if that makes sense. He knows what he is doing is wrong. He knows the repercussions of his actions, and he's more than willing to go ahead with it.
I was 14.
Well,
And you acknowledge it. That was about an hour ago.
So they say here that we told you we were 14 an hour ago. which to me sounds like there was multiple days of, you know, and in my experience, when it comes to stuff like this, you're talking to these people for multiple days, if not weeks or months. So if he told him an hour ago, that means everything that was said beforehand is completely admissible. So none of that evidence is even evidence of a crime because he thought the person was 20. And at the point afterwards of, hey, an hour before we meet, I'm 14, by the way, even though he had acknowledged it, and that's completely fucking wrong, it could be seen as entrapment. And this is very, very poor from them. If you look at any of my Predator to Catch videos, you see that within the first half an hour of speaking, I try and tell them. As soon as it fits in with a conversation, I'll say, how old are you exactly? They'll say 37. What about you? Oh, I'm 15, right? I try and do it as soon as possible in the conversation, not a week in. Because I know that law, I don't want this to be thrown out for entrapment. Let's say this man was actually speaking to underage people, and you doing this allowed him to go home and delete all the evidence, you know? Think about what you're doing.
Sorry, did not know that.
So, is this the first time you've met? Actually,
No.
you said this is not the first time that this has happened
It
to
happened a
you.
long time ago.
So what happened?
I got screwed over a long time ago. I met up with some person that was a little older than me. And we hung
And
out
you got
and stuff.
catfished?
Yeah, it was a bad mistake. and I
So,
didn't-
do you talk to underage children
No, it's
often?
the first time I was.
This is the
almost
first
that.
time you've
Yes,
talked to an
honestly,
underage
Yeah,
child.
it's the first time.
But that doesn't add up. You realize that, right? Because you
Yeah.
said you got set up in the past. How did you get set up? What
I
happened?
met up with the person.
And what happened?
All stuff went wrong.
I've got no idea what he's talking about. I can't even make a comment. It sounds like he's done something like this before and been caught and stuff went wrong, but he's being very vague with it. He seems slightly intoxicated.
Like what? You got beat up? What happened?
Yeah, I got jumped by a few people.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did not know.
So you do realize this is very wrong, right?
Yes.
You do realize it's
I'm
disgusting.
very sorry.
I mean, it's just like,
I know it's bad.
So you were aware he was 14 years old,
At the
correct?
first time I was not. But now I
At
am
first
aware.
you were not.
Now
Yes,
I
because
am.
it says 19 years old on the profile, but I made you aware that he
I
was
did
14.
not know.
Yeah, but you've already said that you made him aware an hour before a meeting, which means that there was days, if not weeks, of, you know, pulling this guy along and, you know, making him believe he was talking to an adult, and, you know, you know how it is online, maybe even fall in love with who he thinks is a 20-year-old woman or a 20-year-old man, I've forgotten which one, and at the last minute, hey, I'm 14. That's why it's seen as entrapment, if that makes sense. It's making somebody fall for somebody who they believe is of age, and at the last minute, bang, 14 years old. That's why this would be admissible in court. And even though he attempted the meet, and even though that's completely fucking wrong, and he should definitely go to the police and see what the police say, and let a jury and a judge go through the evidence and see what the right thing is to do with this man, and see if he is guilty of any crimes or completely innocent due to your complete negligence as a child predator catcher. You're not willing to do that anyway because you don't want to go to the police. But he's not even going to get a fair trial from this. And that's some crazy. That's some crazy shit.
I'm sorry.
You realize-
Yeah, it was bad. I forget.
Let me ask you a question. What would you do if the father was here? Do you think we'd be having this talk?
No,
Would you be
he'd
telling
beat
the
my
father
ass.
we're sorry?
I'm telling
He
I'm
would,
sorry.
he would.
I was
And
telling
He wouldn't give a
honestly,
shit about your
if I'm
sorries.
just being 100% real with you, we shouldn't be talking. Like,
Right.
it's fucked up, Edward. It's disgusting.
Sorry.
You came here to meet a child.
Sorry.
You live with your mother, right? How would your mother know if she? How would your mother feel if she knew about it?
Frustrated.
She'd probably throw you out the house.
Yes.
She wouldn't
kick your
talk to you
ass
anymore
out.
either.
Exactly.
So
I'm
I'm just trying to get like a.
So you just said we shouldn't even be speaking to you at the moment, but 5 minutes ago you said if you don't speak to us, we're going to the police. Which one is it? Like, you don't need to score points on these things. You should, as I always say, call the police, hand them the evidence. He'll be detained for 24 hours. He'll be questioned. At that point, they will then see if there's enough evidence to, you know, charge him with a crime or release him because he's completely innocent. Why are you not doing that? Out of what inconvenience does calling 911 have to you? It takes 10 minutes to give all of the information and them to arrive normally. A bit longer to arrive sometimes, but it's not hard. Why do you not want to do that? Is it because you know that you've committed crimes in this? And is it because you know that you've entrapped him? Why not? Like, just call the fucking police. If you don't want to speak to him, detain him. Say, look, wait until the police come. If he makes a runner, call the police anyway. Give them the evidence, show them the footage. They'll find it. Winds me up.
Peace of mind, like what goes through your head?
Stupid shit.
Like,
Dumb.
can't you find anybody your age?
I didn't know you were that old, so.
You did, though. Don't try and act like you're like a dumb. I know you're not.
I'm sorry, though.
Okay.
I apologize.
You can read, correct?
A little bit. It was a disability.
You have a disability. Okay. What kind of disability do you have?
ADHD, bipolar, depression.
So,
anxiety.
are you trying to use that as an
ADHD, bipolar depression. So bipolar is a key one here. It means that he may actually have an insanity defense if this goes to court. I don't know. But depression and ADHD are not, they're just not excuses for this. Bipolar potentially, but not ADHD. Like what, you just gonna jump around a little bit more when you meet them? Like, come on.
lie to me?
Whatever.
Don't lie to me, Edward. Come on. Hey,
Edward, you're a sick. You're a sick Edward, and you need help. You need a lot of help.
So they start getting aggressive and he runs away out of fear. As he said before, he's been jumped by people in situations like this in the past. Don't know if that was meeting an underage girl or just getting robbed. But you say something here, you need help, Edward. What help is he gonna get from you posting this all over online, not going to the police, not doing any of that? Because when you go to the police and he gets arrested, he'll be given counselling in prison if he is found guilty of the crimes. So you say that he needs help, but what help is this? This is complete negligence. That you're doing your job completely wrong. I don't want to be a dick. You know, I appreciate when people do this, but I only appreciate when they do it properly. You're letting this man get away with potential crimes, and you're not doing it properly. Doesn't sit right with me at all. Let me know down below. Am I being too nice to this predator, or am I just saying the right things? Let me know what you think down below. So this right here is entrapment in its finest, right? What we're doing just seems a bit sketchy, says the predator. It's not, I just want you. Which is borderline entrapment. Why? I'm horny. This is enticing behavior. This is entrapment. At this point, in none of the messages beforehand does it say that they're underage. If you check through, you can pause the video throughout. I want you to spank me and put me on my knees. This is the underage prop account saying this, and this is completely alluring behavior, and it's completely criminal. This is, without a doubt, entrapment, and is a fucking crime. And you're gonna let this man get away with it. If he did this properly and he still met a 14-year-old, then he's getting away with it because of you. You completely being negligent about your job is outstanding. I'm gonna leave the video there, guys. I'm shocked. They've posted a video which shows them committing crimes. I hope they get prosecuted for this, because this is complete criminal negligence, and they can ruin, if they are doing this to multiple people, they can ruin real police investigations and let terrible people get away with their crimes. Let me know if you agree with what I'm saying in the comments down below. If not, I'm sure you will let me know anyway, as is the state of social media. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there. Peace.